What's poppin', YouTube? Welcome to my channel, Astro Finesse. It's your boy Lil Finesse Jiggy Hippie, back with another video for y'all. In this video right here, we're going to be continuing our Pluto aspect series, talking about if you have Pluto squaring Mercury or Mercury squaring Pluto. And I'll pause for the cause. If you don't know how to find your Pluto aspects, if you don't know how to read your birth chart, if nobody puts you on as to why it's so important that you have to study yourself, to love yourself, and to overall understand yourself through astrology and numerology, don't worry, I got you. There's a couple of videos. I'll put the link in the description. You have to watch them first to become hip to the knowledge of what I'm about to talk about right now. So if you look at your birth chart, you look at your aspects, and you see that you have Pluto squaring Mercury or Mercury squaring Pluto, this video is for you. So without further ado, let's just get it poppin', shout. Alright, now boom, we're going to be talking about squaring Mercury, Pluto squaring each other. First of all, what does a square mean in astrology? What does a square mean in your birth chart? What does a square mean for you personally? So now a square, scientifically, mathematically, is when two planets are 90 degrees away from each other. So they're aspecting each other in something called a square aspect. Squares are considered a harsh aspect, a bad aspect, a negative aspect, only because it kind of gives us tension and friction in whatever two planets are squaring each other. So squares push you to propel, to change, to grow in whatever area in life that planets are squaring each other, because it gives you, people around you see it, or you feel it internally on a deep level, a sense of tension between those two planets. So squaring can change from a negative to a positive. Once you actually understand the tension, you pay attention to the negativity, you pay attention to the friction, you pay attention to the tension that's happening between those two planets, and you put action towards changing. You put action towards changing that negativity into a positivity, basically, when it comes to squares in your birth chart. So don't look at yourself like you're cursed or you're doomed for life if you have squares in your birth chart. Squares just show us where we can grow. Squares just show us where we must take action. Squares show us where it's going to be difficult, where we're going to face difficulties in that aspect in our life. So now we know Mercury. Mercury represents our mind. Mercury represents our communication. Mercury represents the way we intellectualize things, analyze things, and see things, and read things, and study things, investigate things from our mind and how we communicate out to people. Now we already know Pluto. Pluto rules Scorpio. Pluto represents death and rebirth and occult knowledge and secrets and darkness and anything taboo, anything under the surface, anything that's really real and deep beneath, on surface level, anything that's real and deep beneath surface level information is what Pluto represents. So now what happens when you have Mercury, when you have your mind, when you have the way you communicate with people, squaring up or in negative aspects or in a harsh aspect or in tension and friction with planet of Pluto, which is darkness and control and power and death and also sex too. What happens when you have Mercury squaring Pluto? So now, first of all, a lot of times, I'll just start off with the basics. A lot of times, as we already know, Pluto rules power, Pluto rules control. So a lot of times, you could come off, if you're not aware of this, you could come off to people in a very dominating way when you're speaking to them. This stems back from understanding that, we all have opinions that we feel is right. When it comes to Mercury square Pluto people, they feel that their opinion is or what they know, or what they think they know is law, and that's what it is. That they're really stuck on their mindset, stuck on their thought. Especially if you have Mercury in a fixed sign like Leo, Aquarius, Taurus, or Scorpio. This will be even more pertaining for y'all even most, because a lot of times when y'all have a thought or an opinion, y'all can really stand by it to the point that you want to impose it on other people. You want to kind of dominate the conversation on other people. So understand that you have to find the balance between the power dynamic of Pluto, the power control dynamic of Pluto, and your Mercury, which is your communication and your thought process. Find that balance between the two, because a lot of times with this placement, because it's a negative, harsh placement, especially in your earlier years, it will be hard for y'all to really let things go or to let people have their own opinions, because you want to dominate or kind of overpower their opinions. So another thing with this placement is Mercury rules think about how Mercury rules Virgo and Mercury rules Gemini. Virgo being kind of over analytical sometimes, Virgo energy that is. Virgo energy being over analytical sometimes can be overly trying to find the negativity or trying to find the imperfections in things. And look at Gemini as in can overly stimulate itself by putting itself in too many baskets, doing too many things at one time, multitasking too much. And Mercury be ruling our nervous system and our body, which is the speed of our nervous system and our brain communication, how fast that the nervous system and the brain communicate. Mercury being a very fast planet. Understand that Mercury being that planet, ruling that energy, squaring Pluto, can have you having really harsh or kind of dark thoughts a lot in your mentality, in your mind. It can have you really overthinking things, overly analyzing things, being low-key paranoid about things to the max. And whenever we're talking about Pluto energy or Scorpio energy, the paranoia always comes from and stems from feeling the pain in the past. Always stems from having your trust broken in the past. Always stems from getting transformed, dying in a sense and resurrecting. So having that transformative energy resurrecting itself. So that paranoia is understandable. But having that Mercury planet squaring Pluto, a lot of times you can really overindulge yourself with paranoid thoughts, overindulge yourself with trying to do too much digging, too much researching, too much investigation. It can be a good thing or a bad thing depending on what it is. Let's say if your profession is an investigator, your profession is a detective, your profession is doing a job or doing a work that has to do with getting information, that would be a plus for you. But let's say you're just paranoid about everything that happens to you, paranoid about people that are around you, paranoid about like getting close to people like that. A lot of times with displacement, because like I said, Mercury moves really fast. You can overindulge your mind, overindulge your mentality, overindulge yourself with morbid thoughts, dark thoughts, paranoid thoughts, things that have to do with the Pluto energy. So like I said, with displacement, you understand that the tension happening between the two is not bringing balance between your Mercury and your Pluto energy. So people that have displacement, if you know someone that has displacement, understand that they cannot turn their mind off in a way. A lot of times it'll be hard for y'all to sleep because Mercury is moving so fast and your body might want to go to sleep, but your mind is going to always be up thinking about this, thinking about that. Your mind's going to always want to wander here and there. It's like you cannot low-key control where your mind goes. That's how fast Mercury goes, and that's how deep and intense Pluto is, having these two energies together. So I would suggest that meditation definitely is a key for displacement. Trying to control your mind, trying to control your thoughts, trying to have understanding of where your mind goes sometimes. Trying to forgive yourself when you accidentally disrespect people or accidentally impose upon people, because a lot of times, because Scorpio energy, Pluto energy is really cutthroat and digs deep beneath the surface, your words can really cut deep, can be cutthroat. Y'all could be brutally honest sometimes. It's not that you can't even help it, because a lot of times people that have Mercury square Pluto really want the truth, and that's all they care about is digging beneath the surface and going for the truth. So if you're the type of person that likes to dig for the truth a lot, I could cut through bullshit easy. You could see people's intentions easy. You could be like really brutally honest and really cutthroat with your words and go straight to the point and really tell them exactly how you feel about yourself, how you feel about them. You could really like express yourself in a way that makes someone feel a certain type of way about you without you understanding or without you knowing it, if you're not putting work with this aspect, with this square aspect, with this negative aspect. So all in all, I'm saying this because a lot of times these people, their words can really cause damage, or it can be really can cause damage or uplift someone. It's always like that dramatic balance between the two. You can be really especially great at being uplifting, of being transformative with your words, of helping someone raise himself up, of like being able to actually move mountains with your words, be powerful, domineering, to be very empowering. You could be really transformative with your words, or you could be really destructive and be really bring people down, or kind of pessimistic or negative all the time with displacement. So again, it comes back to the balance between the Mercury and the Pluto aspects. Pluto just wants to dominate and control and to be in power all the time. Mercury just wants to move and to communicate and to intellectualize things, to learn things, to study things, and to analyze things a lot. So we have to find the balance between the two. Understand that when you're communicating with people, when you're in that communication aspect, that Pluto aspect can come out and want to dominate and overpower and be brutally honest and be manipulative low-key and be paranoid low-key or high-key paranoid, or just be, you just feel that tension between yourself when it comes to talking to someone or analyzing someone and looking beneath the surface of someone. Now the pluses of this placement, I kept talking about hella negative, so the pluses of this placement is being able to really see people's true intentions off surface. You can really look at someone when they're talking to you and read the body language or read the cues, the social cues, and really understand that person's intentions towards you easier than most. Because a lot of times Pluto is automatically searching for the truth in someone. And because y'all are searching for the truth in someone so much, it could also happen that y'all could low-key start things or start drama or start something to see that person's truth, to see that person's realness. Because being real is not being all peachy creamy and holy and mightier than thou. It's like actually being like, real, being a little negative, being a little, seeing that darkness in someone, seeing that negative side in someone. Is like that realness that y'all like and crave. You like to see people as who they are, but not who they want you to be, or not who they want you to perceive them to be, if that makes sense. You actually want to see people for the real depths of them. This is why a lot of times you do not like small talk. If you're around a Mercury square Pluto person, they don't want to talk about small talk and things that have no meaning to it. Your mind is automatically searching and looking for things that are deep beneath the surface. So with this placement, understand you will find yourself going down the rabbit hole, they say, going down a lot of periods of researching and investigating things on a deep level, going hours of studying, hours of investigating, hours of researching, hours of just trying to focus on one thing for a very long time, trying to pick apart every single piece of information you can. Your mind can really become a computer in a sense when it comes to digging deep beneath the surface. Like I said, be aware and be careful of the way you come off to people, and be aware and be careful of the way that you can feel that your thoughts or your opinions or your facts, which I understand why you feel like that, because y'all take so much time to really dig deep and find the answer. But be aware that your opinions might not be coinciding with others, and that you don't dominate over them, or you don't try to take control over them or manipulate them, because a lot of times y'all can be low-key smarter than people because of how deep you can look at things. So you can think that because you're smarter than them or because you know more than them, that you can take advantage of that situation. So be aware of the squaring aspect, the negative aspect, the push and pull between the Mercury and Pluto aspect. But also understand that your words can be empowering. Your words can be transformative. Y'all could be great innovators. Y'all could be great expressors of thought. Y'all could be great researchers, investigators, doing things to actually help people around you know things that they don't know by y'all being so good at researching and investigating and understanding things on a deep level. Y'all can actually put people on to real information, to real occult knowledge, to real things that people kind of don't look at because the average person, most likely surface level. Y'all can really help someone tap deep into themselves, into their psyche, into their mind, into just information that has to do with y'all doing your deep research. Like I said before, Mercury moves really fast. Mercury has to do with trying to do too many things at one time because it doesn't like to sit still. So understand your mind does not like to sit still, and your mind can be wandering a lot into the dark thoughts. You could be wandering a lot about sexual thoughts too, because remember Pluto rules sex, so y'all could definitely have a lot of dark sexual fantasies that you're always thinking about to the max. Put all this into consideration, understanding that the harsh square aspect of Mercury square and Pluto, pay attention to the tension, and the tension is that Pluto energy wants to dominate your mentality, wants to dominate your speech, wants to dominate your analyzing skills, wants to dominate your investigation skills, wants to dominate your mind in a way. Taking control of your mind and not allowing your mind to take control of you. Being aware of the paranoia aspects, not being too afraid to speak your truth until you have all the information. Like a lot of times y'all could be afraid to say something until you got all the knowledge 100% done before you actually let it out and tell people. Not being afraid to say things. Y'all could be afraid to say your secrets because you're afraid that person can harm you in a way. All this is all that paranoia energy, which I understand 100% Because like I said, the paranoia comes from the pain that y'all felt, comes from having that trust broken. But understand with this aspect, with this placement, y'all could take that to the top, to the max. Y'all could take that OD with being scary, with always trying to look over your shoulder, because your mind, Mercury, is being influenced by that Pluto energy. But use this energy. Understand understand the talent that y'all have in investigating things. Understand the talent that y'all have in digging beneath the surface and looking for the truth in things. Use this for your benefit. Use this to empower people. Use this to transform people with your words. Be careful of how you come off to people, because they can be scary and be afraid of you low-key because of the way y'all speak. Understand that your words can really is really sharp, like a two-edged sword. Your words can really cut deep into someone's feelings and someone's emotions. Y'all can really change. Y'all can really move mountains with the way you're speaking. It could be damaging or empowering. That's that balance between the left and the right when it comes to this placement. So that was my video on Mercury squaring Pluto. Hope y'all enjoyed that. My next video is going to be on Mercury squaring Mars, and you already know I'm about to go in. If you have subscribed to my channel, appreciate all y'all for real, you already know. But if you still haven't subscribed yet, go ahead, handle that one time for your boy. Don't forget to drink your water, mind your business, and be safe out here. It's your boy, Lil Finesse Jiggy Hippie. I'm going to see all y'all when I see y'all. Peace.